Alright, thank you very much. Hello everybody, yes, it's your good friend Pozzible here, and I'm back in action, doing what I do best, and that is movie reviews. And this time, we are going to get a very special movie review, because you're going to get two for the price of one. We're going to do two movies at once, and we're going to put them together in a very special way. Today, we're going to start off with a movie from the 80s, and its remake, or reboot, I should say. It all started with Child's Play, of course. Back in the 80s, this was just a typical slasher movie, you know? One of the questions you gotta ask yourself sometimes is, what little changes can we make to a big overall genre and still get away with it? So here you got the same idea of a psycho killer who kills people for literally no reason, even though technically Charles did have a reason. It was revenge, you know? But in the beginning, he was a career criminal, and he just went around killing people. But at the beginning of Child's Play, he was able to get caught. And in the process of getting caught, they nearly killed him. In the process of killing him, he was able to use his voodoo and transfer his soul into the body of this doll. Despite the fact that the body of the doll has no legs or no working organs or anything, he was able to stay alive in it and use it to kill people. No muscles is what I meant to say. It did have legs. Sorry about that. Anyway, the movie was okay. The movie starts off pretty promising because it doesn't really reveal too much of what was going on or why. Chucky was, of course, alive. You got that sense, but they really didn't show it to you near the very end. The story of Chucky is a typical one. I recommend you seeing it. It was a good movie. If you like slasher movies, it's a classic. It wasn't a huge success, but it was successful enough to spawn off so many sequels that just went dumber and dumber and dumber. You know, you just couldn't stand it. I remember one time, at one point, he even gets married. At one point, he even has a child. And at one point, they even kill somebody trying to beat Britney Spears. And it was a joke at the time, you know? But that's what happened to Chucky, where it all went wrong. Is because everything was a joke. The whole thing was a joke. And it was a very bad joke. And that's why it really went down. Which brings us to the reboot. The Curse of Chucky. It just came out recently, the video, direct-to-video. And it was a shame that this one didn't get a theater release, where all the other ones did. This one brings back Chucky, and he goes to this very isolated house, where you have a mom and her daughter who's wheelchair bound, and eventually other family members show up, and the torture begins, you know? It's more serious, it's more back to its roots, and it's gorier. I haven't seen the other ones. As a matter of fact, these are the only two I've seen, so I'm not claiming here to be a Chucky fan. And I called him Charles because that's what his name is. His friends call him Chucky. You'll hear that in the movies. But it was good. It was okay. The ending, though, nearly killed it. Because just when you knew it was over, it kept going and going. But the big payoff, the only reason I give this movie a see it, especially to Chucky fans, is not what happens in the movie or after. It's what happens in the trailers. You know, even not the trailers, I'm sorry. The credits, the end scene credit, practically saved this movie. You know, and if you've seen Chucky and if you know anything about the story of Chucky, then you will really appreciate what happens at the end of the credits. So if you do watch this movie, and I recommend seeing it, stick around to the very end. Okay, good movies. I mean, they started off well. They had a very bad middle, but they learned their lesson and they've gotten back to where they're supposed to be. So that's my 2 cents for Chucky and his reboot. I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. We'll see you at the theaters.